Hello, this is a build update. We're going to be doing a T16 Abyss Overrun with these mods, mainly damage mods here. These tablets. Yeah, this is essentially what I've been doing, but you'll notice a new Spectre, and I think he's contributing quite a bit, so enjoy. There we go. This puts my minions at 63k DPS. So I have made some upgrades I'm excited to share. Yeah. Yippee. Pops are happening. The minions are letting me pop. How could this be? Love it. So good. That was close. Good thing I had 13k energy shield. That was helpful. To be fair, this is a fully damage rolled mod map, so like I don't like how this T16 ended up being rolled. I may pause and look at the mods, but what I read in the 2 seconds I looked at it before I put it in the map device was all damage. This build actually does well into elemental defenses, because a lot of it is converted into chaos now, including the freeze. So that's really cool, actually. I'm not gonna die. That would not be fun, and I like fun. What do we think so far, divas? I think this is pretty good. Oh, okay, that Spectre just dashed. Time to start popping. When you see the Spectre dash, and he doesn't get interrupted or hump a corner or fall off a cliff, that means you can start popping. It's pretty fun. He has really good AI, I think. Oh, he got the corner! Good guy. Big guy. Okay. He can hump the corner and ritual. It's foolproof here. I would like it to spread slowly over here, but by the time the ritual's over, yeah, it's not spread. Yes. See, like, why did he stop there? This AI. It's so sad. limited by this AI. But when it works, it works. But, you know, at this point, I've put enough money into my minions that, like, the Viras is just a quality of life more than a necessity. Like, these guys pop. Let's hit again. 71. 41. I mean, just depending on if they're in that circle or not. Spell damage, in-game. Guys, we did it. We did it. We're minion players on Djinn, and we're having fun. Who would have thought? Oh, I don't know what that was, but what do we got? Sorry to interrupt. We dropped a Prism Guardian. That's a whole 15 exalt there. Glad it was the biggest tank possible. Like what? Interesting. Juice T16 here. By the way, we are shredding through it. As I said, there are no defensive mods on this T16. That's just how it ended up rolling. So honestly, the fact that it's a T16 is kind of a wash. This isn't even showcasing the damage very well. Because all of my skills are one-shotting everything. But this pumps very well into, you know, your standard defensive T15s and 16s. I'm proud of it. I am. I think it's very cozy. But could be improved. And also, what if this guy right here became my main DPS? I don't know. Can we watch him hump corners more often if we have 6 of them instead of only 1? I think the answer to that is for sure yes, but does he also deal damage? Not sure. We'll have to make another follow-up for this video. I thought my weapon swap was bugged there again. I was gonna freak out. Guys, if you hate weapon swapping, don't worry. I'm going to include a non-weapon swap version of this build also. And I'm gonna show that off. It performs fine too, but obviously, if you're not weapon swapping, you're not doing max DPS. It's just how it is. Q. E. And time to pump into this guy. Stop. Oh, he's frozen. And he's a T16 boss down. All of rituals down. GG. Okay. That was a T16 showcase with an Abyssal Breakout. Very fun. Here is a little showcase of my current gear. I'm just gonna hover over things. Some of it has honestly not even changed, but I am going to show you what has changed. What has changed? The ring. Sekma's Resolve with the Calandras. We have this jewel. Fantastic. We have this belt. Darkness Enthroned. It is a helmet version with more minion efficiency to allow me to get the boar in, and then an Idol of Egrin for curse. This is better for single target DPS. Stats, we're res capped, we're CI, so don't worry about chaos. 13k ES. I've shown you the minion damage in the map. What else do we have? New tree. Slightly different stuff here. I also want to say, guys, don't get baited by Mind Over Matter. This node sucks. I tried it with a pretty decent Vianga and a bunch of mana nodes. It just doesn't sustain, and you randomly die with 13k ES because the reason why you would ever take this, by the way, is this node right here. If you can sustain Mind Over Matter, you can take this node for more ES. 5% damage taken bypasses energy shield. If you randomly got one shot while you're CI, it's because you took this node. Unless you have a mana defensive layer, you can't click this. And so that's what Mind over matter is it adds your mana as a defensive layer. But this build is, the version that I'm playing is piano, and it uses all the mana, so don't click it. Just don't do it. Oh, jewels. 3 grand spectrums. This is a total of 6% times 3. It's 18% spirit with these 3. Make sure you have this clicked. You need your minions to have withered on hit. All of your minions are stacking this. And then your main DPS, which is your frost mages, if you're following this build, gets 5% damage extra as chaos with this. And AoE, which is great. So click that. Click this, so that way your other minions are also stacking withered. And it's a free chaos res. So you don't have to click this anymore. I have these clicked for res. Cool. Yeah. As I said, I think I want to try, oh, one other thing. There was a belt. If you guys want the belt that increases the effect of your left and right rings, do not click it if you're using a Sekma's. It only affects the rarity and the attribute. It does not affect the jewel. Okay. I also wanted to say that. Next update, I would like to work on these boars. Oh, I have to show you my gems. Okay. Next update, I want to make these DPS because I think I'm about happy with how these frost mages are performing. Other than a +4 amulet, they're there, you know. Anyways, so here's my gems. I'm gonna hover over everything. I'm not gonna explain anything too much. Okay, new tech, actually, have to explain this. Frost Nexus Encroaching Ground on Navira makes it so that way every time I get a pop, it creates new frosted ground for continuous pops, and that pop expands. Here's the thing, I do not use Navira for DPS, so these utility pieces do not matter. Bidding 3 is also technically a utility piece also. It's not providing damage, it's just give me CDR. I have muster and concentrated area, that's it. That is enough damage for me to be popping white mobs and T16s. If there's anything else, I can either pop twice, and that's plenty, or I can debuff and let minions take care of it. It is a very cozy way to play this build. I could not recommend this enough. Here's Kalari, that's for crit. Debuff. Skeletal Warrior. Sigil of Power. Skeletal Frost Mage obviously set up a lot. The setup changed a lot, so we dropped Frost Nexus. Instead of having these guys create the Frost Ground, we now have our experimental board to do that. So now we can do a full 5 DPS setup here with either Wild, Shard, or Multi, depending on clearing or bossing, with Kurgles, which is why I'm using their bidding skill. Kurgles allows them to have Unholy Might. Unholy Might is 30% of all damages extra chaos. And then we have this, which is 40% of cold damages extra chaos. Also, chaos contributing to freeze. So they are still freezing bosses during DPS. Cast speed, muster. Guys, muster is insane at this point. I am fully scaled. I have now 8 minions to scale muster. That is a 56% damage buff on every single one of my mages. Like this singular storm mage is at 70k, and the majority of that scaling. 9.7k DPS. Wow. Like half of its damage is coming from muster. Insane buff at this point once you get the necessary spirit. Sorry, I will hover over everything. There is another jewel that I would like for Skeletal Cleric. There is one, I forget the name of it. I think it's Brutus's. Makes it so that way it can't deal damage, but it can't die. So that would be nice. It's a small upgrade, I think it's 100x. So I will grab that shortly after this video. Blind, Contract Gamble Multi. I have multiple sources of blind here. We have blind here, we have culling here. So I'm just trying to keep, I have only one of each of these minions. So if one dies and the other one's alive, I'm still applying culling or blind, you know? That's the idea here. Muster and Reaver must on everything other than the sniper for some reason. This guy is just shooting as many projectiles as possible, honestly. His fifth will just be attack speed. Last gasp on Reaver to make sure that blind is up. Death March for healing too. I didn't really touch on that, but Death March Gigantic on Skeletal Warrior. This is a cool tech. Hulking gives you Gigantic, which gives you maximum life. Death March heals nearby minions within 3 meters of the total life of this minion. So, and also remove the ailments. This is just another defensive layer. I'm trying to make sure that my minions never die, and it's happening pretty dang well. So, whenever I use Sacrifice, my offering skill on this, they die, it heals my other minions, and then they respawn. It's a really good gameplay loop there. And then these haven't changed, these haven't changed. And then now I have an Arsonist in with just multi and culling white mobs whenever it happens, culling bosses. Okay, that's the gem setup now. Biggest change being this. Yeah, I am happy to answer any questions about this build in the comments. I don't have a written guide or anything, but I'm active in the comments, so if you are thinking you want to try this build out, let me know. This boar, I will show you a little clip after this showing you the tech of this boar. Actually, I have talked long enough. This video is going to be kind of long, but I can just show you. Super easy. Let me just turn all this off. I just want to show you what the boar looks like on his own. Just boar. Hopefully I don't come up in here and just die, but I have just the boar. Is there even, there's only 18 monsters in here, bro. Let's go to the islands here. Act 4, please. Wakapano. Sorry, I know. You guys have lost interest at this point, but I want to show you the boar. This is why I can pop Naviras. I took off Frost Nexus from my skeletal mages, so I can use this boar instead. Navira has gained 1 additional support, like utility gem, and then my mages were able to lose it because this guy dashes. Look at that frosted ground. It's so good. It's so good until he humps corners, bro. Until he humps corners. But it's really good, and then it spreads, it spreads, it spreads, and then I pop it again, and it spreads, it spreads, it spreads, and I pop it again. Fantastic. Thanks for the demo. Okay, other thing, please, if you're using this boar, click always attack without moving. This makes it a lot more consistent. He will use charge on cooldown every 5 seconds. One other tech before we go. Here's how I have my mages set up. 1 on your second item set for weapon swapping. 1. This is why. Your combo, if you're doing the more, piano setup, which is max DPS, is you want to put down Sigil, you want to weapon swap with your weapon swap button, you want to swap back, using weapon swap basically, you want to put up Pain Offering, you want to use Ice Armor. You have to use Ice Armor to get the effect of Kirkles. So F, X, R, and then I would Q, right? That's max DPS right there. That is a fully set up team. I don't know why their damage is low right now, but you saw it in the map what the damage was like. So, that is the tech. If you want to do a non-keyboard setup, ignore this button right here. The only thing I would change with the non-keyboard setup is I would change nothing here. I would add Frost Nexus over one of these 2 damage pieces here. If you add Frost Nexus to this, what will happen is the Frost Mages will be chilling the ground. The Boar will be chilling the ground. and a Vera will be popping the ground, right? I don't have to use, oh yeah, if you don't want the button, take off Kurgles. There you go, solved. Take off Kurgles. Don't worry about pressing Ice Armor then. All you would ever have to do in that case is just use your Kalari's buttons. And then your Bean Offering. That's it. This is honestly whatever too. So, yep. If you're interested in a non-keyboard or non-piano setup, like a showcase of that, I can show you with the, you know, the high budget setup here. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Cool.